Welcome to week 2 at COP27. Today's theme is water and gender. I chatted to Climate Strategies member Joyashree Roy on how she's finding COP this year and her thoughts on gender and climate.
I think this is very exciting and a very important juncture when we are here. This is post-COVID period, and this is also a time when there are multiple crises visiting, I would say, in different parts of the world, which are not very desirable, because one pandemic crisis and then also war and many civil wars and discontent among the public, which is going on across the different countries of the world. So this is very high time that when countries are trying to spend money for recovery of their economies, this is the right moment when we need to be thinking how those investments can be climate-friendly investments, so that we do not, because the decisions we take today is going to lock in the countries on either sustainable pathway or an unsustainable pathway. So there is a chance how we make the right decisions in terms of investment, so that we lock in the whole growth path of any country on a sustainable development pathway, which is climate friendly. So I'm very hopeful, because now science is so clear. Even the IPCC report and the newly published UNEP report of UNEP GAP report of 2022, and also the 10 insights which have come out from the Future Earth, where I have been authoring in all these 3 reports. And we have so much of science to say what can be done as a solution for multiple crises together across different countries. So I think I'm expecting this COP at least, will be dominated by scientific argument, and so science will dominate the negotiation, dialogue, and the conversation. So that gives me the hope that, because science is so clear, so if we are scientifically progressing, then we will be able to provide climate justice and also the climate stabilization in the longer run. Actually, this COP, it's very interesting for me, because I have been attending the COP since COP 6. So that was in Hague, and so this is COP 27, right? So 21 COPs have gone, we have left behind. But what I see at this time is that I'll be here, this is the first time that I'll be here for a whole of the 2 weeks. And I have many assignments in the sense that I'll be speaking in different forums, starting from IPCC platform to other different platforms like Singapore Pavilion, Japan Pavilion, and many others. The thing that I will be actually focusing on is that the society and people, given their different social roles, have much to contribute. It doesn't mean that shifting the responsibility to the people themselves, because it is how you empower people so that they can take a right decision, they can make a right choice. So unless you have a walkable city, you can't think in terms of active transport. So these are the things which we are going to say, how people can be empowered. So my take this time is that how to make it possible to convey the message which we came through in the IPCC report this time in the chapter 5, that how people really matter, but unless they are empowered by giving access to the right infrastructure, right access to the technology, or also they really need to be motivated. So there needs to be incentives and various policy and societal norm which really need to encourage them to take action. Say, for example, there can be role models the investors need to be looking for whenever they're spending their money in the companies which are investing in the sustainable development actions, and also the infrastructure building needs to be in the developing countries in such a so that they do not get locked in the unsustainable pathway, because it's the developing economies who will be growing now, because they have to provide a better life, better living and decent living to the masses. And so I think that that's half of the world, and so half of the world will be provided with all new infrastructure building and the water access and energy access. So how do you provide them with climate justice in mind, and also give them developmental alternatives which make them more sustainable in future? So I think this is the main message which I'm just going to speak in different forums, that how equity can be brought into the whole dialogue. And we know the different examples, alternatives, how that can be provided. What we need is will and actions, and not just pledges, but then implementation programs in different parts of the world, so that the justice is provided to the masses. There is more information, scientific information, which is coming up, which we could document in our IPCC report also, that when we are talking about leaving no one behind, when we make systemic transitions in cities, in energy system, in industries, in agriculture system and food systems, the women are not left behind, because if women are left behind, then you leave behind half of the world. And the most important thing which we found this time is that most of the adaptation and mitigation projects are not consciously designing gender-sensitive programs. So what is happening is that there is a historical injustice and inequity which is biased against women, and we are finding that studies are showing that women will be impacted even worse if by policy design or by design the projects are not gender sensitive. And also what we have found, that there are three major issues which we found. In energy matters, energy system transformation, gender has a very, very important role to play, because half of the world, as I said, are women, and they really manage their energy-related decisions in day-to-day life. So they really need to be included into the decision-making around energy. And second thing, what we have also noticed is that the carbon footprint of women are much less than the men. And so there are ways and means why the women's carbon footprint is low. So there is much important role women can play in the society to show how the carbon footprint can be reduced. And so what I'm just thinking is that unless women are involved in technology choice, innovation and financial access, we will not be able to integrate a major knowledge which the women carry with them, which can make the world a better place in the when we are making a big transitions in different systems. So this time these are the messages which we are trying to send out to the public also in different forums, that why the gender integration is so much important.